Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to discuss on the inverter technology, and I would really thankful to ET and entire team to organize this. Today, apart from all the policies and different things, we would like to take a little break to understand the technology, and then it is about very short call, maybe 15 minutes of the time, but there is a lot more to learn. So I may not cover most of the things, but I'd like to cover the important points of that particular slide, and then we'll move on. What I would like to emphasize here is all about an inverter technology which is installed, which is used for the solar power plants. Solplanet, you see here, it's an inverter brand. We manufacture inverters for entire segment, residential, utility and CNI segment. And there we have the entire portfolio. I can give you a little more information on the company, but I would like to keep this as an flow wherein I will discuss more about the challenges which we face on the ground and the advancements what we have done on the inverter technology. And at the later stage, we will discuss about the company, what is that and how we are doing it. So now let's discuss about the inverter. When we thought about inverter, like my friend from VNY, the EPC company, he explained a lot about the EPC project and the benefits and a lot other things. When they purchase a solar inverter, how they think, we'll discuss on that. So an inverter company, when they introduce any product, we normally discuss on the features like high ampere, input current, zero export, IV curve diagnostics, or let's say, Q at night function, AFCI function, lot more are there. But yes, what exactly is been expected by the buyer when it comes to buyer as an EPC or developer? They expect a simplified product which is, which will be having an integrated solution, easy for O&M, reliability to support on any weak grid conditions, and future ready product. When they request for all these four things, it means that they need a product which is simplified in design, robust in hardware, okay, and then it should be futuristic ready so that in near future, in next 2-3 years of time or 4 years of time, if any DISCOM brings up any new compliances, our inverter should comply to that. That's what exactly a buyer looks for when they buy an inverter. Now let's quickly move to the next. Reason for the failure when we talk about the technology, there are many, and majority of them we find is because of the poor, manufacturing of the inverter, like with the pure components, or maybe lack of in-house testing facilities when we manufactured inverter at the site, or maybe on the ground when someone install the inverter, because of the loose connections or poor commissioning practices can lead to the inverter failures on the site, which again impact on the LCOE of the project. So let's understand that how we can overcome out of this. So there are certain solutions on which we will discuss now. The first solution would be about advancements of the inverter at component level. What is that we have done? And then we will discuss second is that about the testing facility, how robust testing can ensure you the reliable product, and then design advancements. Actual product when we design, we consider all those requirements in our mind, and then we design our product accordingly. And then of course, innovative thermal design to make sure that inverter sustain in any kind of weather conditions on site. So let's quickly understand component level advancement. So here there are a lot more to talk about, because I have shown a lot of patents and many other things. But the important thing is that when we talk about inverter earlier used to come with ARM technology, and then technology evolved, and then companies have introduced DSP technology, digital signal processing, for the IGBTs and entire process. What we use is DSP plus watchdog technology, which is most important when it comes to the inverter. Watchdog technology, what it adds to the entire scenario is it reduces the chances of failure. So it reduces the chances of hardware failure. That's how we make sure that our inverter, when it goes to the field, it is standing for the way long as unreliable. You can use it for the longer period. Now let's move to the next. Comprehensive testing facilities and validations which we do on each and every inverter when we do manufacture. The important thing is that whenever you manufacture a single inverter as well, in the entire batch, you'll have to take it through a temperature and humidity test, shock vibrations test, EMC compliance test, along with a long-term test on the different scenarios. We do have in-house aging facilities where we do test for the, on a different scenarios like 1,000 hours of high voltage and then low voltage and different low loads and different scenarios. We make sure that inverter runs through that to ensure that before it reaches to the market, it is thoroughly tested. So when we talk about testing also, there is not only thing, there are different stages of that which we follow. Like first test, let's say at the production line, regular filters, 100% AT test which we follow, 100% incoming material inspections. So there are routine tests which we follow, and then there are strong destructive testings also which we follow. That ensures that when you install an inverter on a site, we make sure that it works on a different scenarios, on a different grid parameters, and then the inverter performs well. So these are the testings which we make sure that we do before we send the inverter on the site. Now let's talk about the third point, design advancements. So yes, of course, when we talk about inverter, generally things like, inverter is the brain of the system. But when you talk about brain, it works very intelligently if it has installed properly. Then, if not, then what happens? See, when DC cables has been connected to the connector through MC4 or any other means, the installation is typically depend on the laborers who are there crimping the cables, connecting it to the inverter. If your labor work is good, then your inverter will never give you any trouble. But if there is a loose crimping, loose connections, definitely it will increase risk of generating heat at the inverter side. And then certainly in due course of time, these kind of burnings can be happen, and this causes maybe sometime fire at the site. So to avoid such scenarios, what we have done, there are different people have come up with the different solutions. What we have done here is, at the DC connector side, we have installed sensors which can detect the arcing, which can detect the excessive heat, and then it can intelligently informs that there is a heat generating. Now yes, up till here, there are different technologies who say that we also have. But here what we have done, even after, along with the information, we do trip the inverter automatically. So we do have smart DC switches which has been inbuilt. Those DC switches can be tripped immediately by themselves automatically to prevent the hazardous situation. So these kind of things we have done at DC side. Now when we talk about AC side as well, when we connect the AC cables, there also sometimes the excessive heat can be generated. In due course of time, the connections get loosened. There also we have done the similar thing, that we detect the temperatures and the arcing in the system, and we try to prevent the mishaps which may occur. So these kind of things which we have tried to incorporate in the system. Now this is what the DC switch we have added. This DC switch is smart one, which can which is having a mechanical life of 10,000 times with an electrical life of 300 times, which can automatically trip in case of any any major event happens at the site. So these are the things which we do when we talk about the designing of the inverter inside. Along with that, especially explosion-proof design which we have made, because our inverter, when we talk about India, we have different scenarios. Gujarat, Rajasthan, very heat. You can see there MP, and then now when we talk about South region, you will find little colder weather. So for all the scenarios, when there is any let's say harsh weather conditions, you will find that inverter has its own internal temperature, and if the temperature increases, sometimes the component gets weaker and it gets failure. So capacitors mostly gets blast in the inverters. So what we have done, all the capacitor bank we have take it at one side, and then if you look at this kind of enclosure we have put on those capacitor banks, so that even though if any scenario occurs, the impact of that explosion will not impact to other boards. So how it will happen? For this, what we are going to achieve is, we will reduce the downtime of the plant. We know that where the problem is, it has not impacted to many other boards, so you will not have you will not have much, you will not need much time to repair that. You can quickly repair or replace the board, and the inverter will start. So That is one. And because of this, a larger event can be avoided, like fires at the sites and many other things. So these are the things which is very important, very unique. No one follows in the industry. Apart from that, strong screw reinforcements on the top, so that it cannot, it will be more secure. Pressure walls we have given at the top of the inverter, so that even though further if there is a pressure increased inside the inverter chamber, inverter IGBT chamber, it will be released automatically. So these are the things which we have implemented. Now coming back to the thermal, which is the last topic. Thermal is very important thing, because if your inverter temperature is maintained, then it will perform at optimal. It will give you a better energy conversion from DC to AC. So now we have different type of, like shovel to radiator, inverter inductors are different. We have forced air-cooled external fans. And the best part is that when we talk about O&M, it is very important that your fans are fitted externally, easy to access, easy to remove, and easy to do O&M. So the entire fan assembly is at the outside of the body, which can be easily taken out and then can be cleaned or repaired. Apart from that, these are all smart fans. In the morning session, when in the entire day they works on the clockwise, but in the morning it will work anti-clockwise for 90 seconds to clean itself, so that the dust can be removed automatically. These kind of functions we have incorporated, so that wherever we use our inverters on the solar power project, you will be rest assured about the inverter performance. Now with all this, let me introduce about the company. We are Chinese company having robust background of German technology. I would like to give you a little background on that. In the industry, you may know about the name of SMA. SMA is one of the giant German company, tier 1 company, who produces the on-grid inverter technology. We were a part of SMA. It was an SMA's Chinese subsidiary for last 7-8 years, and then now it become an independent company with the same infrastructure, same testing facility, same R&D facility. We are now repositioned it as a Solplanet for CNI segment in the Indian market. So let me give you little facts and figures. The company started in 2009, and we were pioneer into central technology and string inverter technology. Gradually from 2012 to 2019 onward, this was the SMA era. We were known as an SMA company, SMA's Chinese subsidiary, manufacturing the inverters for them. And then gradually in 2019, we become an independent, and then we started producing inverters under Solplanet brand for global market. And this is how within 2009 to 2025, within the span of 3 years, factual, we were able to position ourselves as a 6th rank according to SP Global, based on the global shipments. We have 60 plus, we have a presence in more than 60 plus countries, close to 18 gigawatt, which we have shipped recently. We have got Red Dot Award and a lot more, which I will discuss with you further. We have a presence across globe. Majority of our presence is in European countries, and now we have gradually moved our focus towards the Asian countries. When we talk about innovative technologies, we have the entire, like this is from 2009 to 2013, we had this particular segment. 2013 to 2019, we had SMA. This Zever Solar portfolio. Majority of my South clients, they might know about the Zever brand, which was very popular. SMA CP1000, which is 1 megawatt central inverter capacity. And then 2019 onwards, the entire portfolio now shifted towards Solplanet. So all the inverters will come under the Solplanet brand to Indian market. And we do have inverters ranging from 250 kilowatt capacity to 360 kilowatt capacity, which is actually focused for utility segment. All the inverters are accredited with, certified with international laboratories. We got different industry recognitions. This is very important slide which I would like to emphasize. If you look at a lot of brands, you can see here Trina, Chint, IBC, Longi, Jollywood, Spike, Jinko, J, SMA, Siemens, it's Kako, and then Skyworth. All these, like Solplanet is a brand of Aishoy, which is parent company. We are very proud to say that we are the supplier for all them. So we do manufacture inverters for all these brands together. And then Solplanet is our own brand. So we do OEM for all these brands, and we do have our own brand as well. Now, we do have bankability reports for all the projects which you would like to use for utility segment and residential. We do have local service support here in India. Since the time constraint, so I'm just moving it a little ahead so that I can give you a little overall information. 32 gigawatt worth of, manufacturing facility we do have at China. When we talk about product portfolio, we have entire hybrid inverter range, lithium-ion battery. This is 100 and 300 kilowatt capacity inverter and lot more. So this is how we have positioned ourselves, and definitely we'll be very happy to support our Indian client. To sum up here, probably we are very happy, and we would like to say thank you to Indian consumers here, because we introduced Solplanet brand in October 2024, and within this 5 months and 6 months of span, the clients have shown a lot of trust. All the IPPs, developers, and the EPCs, they have given us an order close to a gigawatt capacity, and thank you so much for showing that trust to us. Thank you so much.